some women look much younger than they are, and it's not because they're rich or have cosmetic procedures done, but rather because they know the secrets behind clothes that make you look younger. That's why, in today's video, I'm going to show you the 2026 fashion trends that will make you look 10 years younger and super stylish too. Number 1 is Brute denim. This is a type of denim known for having no chemical washes or distressing. It originated back in the 19th century when denim was created to be worn by miners, but today it has made a comeback. It became a trend in the 1980s and again in the 2000s when people began to appreciate the natural wear of denim. And of course, it's back. Among the 2026 trends, Brute denim stands out as one of the main ones, a trend that's going to dominate the market. After all, there's been a 53% increase in searches for related looks. That means, yes, it's going to be a major trend in 2026. The fact that denim is always recommended in these younger look videos is no coincidence. Denim naturally gives you a more casual, youthful appearance. It always gives off that slightly rebellious younger vibe. It's closely tied to the grunge movement and also brings in a bit of the boho spirit with a hippie twist. So yes, we can absolutely mix it with elements that radiate energy and youthfulness. Some characteristics of this type of denim are that, because it's undistressed, it tends to be more structured, which also means it will last longer. It naturally gives off a casual elegance. Since it has no fading, no rips, no signs of wear, it makes you look like someone who takes care of themselves and values dressing well. It gives you elegance and makes you look more sophisticated. Since it's a darker denim, it also elongates your figure. That means it makes you appear naturally taller and slimmer, ideal for curvier or shorter women. It's a very neutral kind of jeans, so you'll be able to pair it with everything. It'll look great with t-shirts, tailored shirts, plain blouses, fitted blouses, ruffled blouses, textured tops. You can pair it with a denim jacket, a leather jacket, or even a trench coat or long coat. So yes, it works with practically anything. In other words, it's a piece that not only brings youthfulness, but is also a wardrobe essential. When you get your hands on this denim, you'll see that it matches practically everything, including a wide variety of shoes. You can wear it with shoes like pumps, slingbacks, Mary Janes, boots, square-toed or pointed toe. It works with a wide range of styles. If you're a woman who wants to look younger, but also cares about looking elegant, if you like to stand out but still love simple pieces, this is the perfect pair of jeans for you. Take advantage of the fact that it's coming back into fashion and match it with other denim trends I've already shared here on the channel. You can pair it with straight leg designs, which are super trendy right now. You can also wear it with the rolled up hem trend, which is another 2026 style, as you can see in the images showing up now. So yes, you can easily combine even more of the 2026 trends with this denim, which is already in style, will remain in style, and will absolutely make you look younger. Number 2 is a trend I've already talked about here on the channel. I'm talking, of course, about soft boho blouses. These are blouses with lots of ruffles. They're usually made with flowy, slightly sheer fabrics. But it's not a kind of sheer that shows too much, okay queens? It's a very light, soft transparency. The fabric is usually a bit thinner, so it flows with the wind. This kind of look brings lightness, movement, and a romantic boho touch that softens your features. So, for example, if you have a little tummy, this will help hide it. If you don't like your arms, or if you have sagging skin, this blouse will cover everything beautifully. Recently, a subscriber asked me a question. She didn't have one of her breasts and wanted to know what kind of trendy blouse she could wear to hide that detail she didn't like about her body. I recommended this blouse, which has plenty of ruffles, so it covers what you want to hide and is still incredibly feminine. Another thing is that this piece is super trendy. It's already appearing in stores, but I believe it's not a focal point just yet. I believe it'll really peak in 2026 trends. Take time to catch on. This is a piece that went viral after some fashion shows highlighted flowy fabrics and ruffles that more elegant boho style, very aligned with 2025 and 2026. And in 2026 and 2027, we'll really start to see it take off. You can pair it with many different styles. I think this blouse looks beautiful with tailoring or more casual pieces. You can absolutely wear it with tailored pants. It looks amazing. With jeans, yes, that works beautifully too. If you want a more casual look that also makes you look younger, I'd say pair it with flare jeans or even even the raw denim we discussed earlier. Both will give you that boho feel and reference the 70s, but without going into costume territory, because what can age us is going too literal, too outdated, too stuck in the past, only referencing the 60s, 70s, or 80s. What we always need to do is modernize. And speaking of modernizing, I recommend soft colors. Or, if you want to be a bit more daring, go for burgundy or brown. I've already mentioned here that burgundy and brown are emerging as new neutrals. Gray is also a new neutral, okay? So any of these three colors are very modern, but you can also go for soft tones like lavender, dusty pink, grayish blue, or pistachio green. All of these are not only still in fashion, but also add that magical, youthful touch. As we get older, our skin, eyelashes, eyebrows, and hair tend to lose saturation. So we should also reduce the saturation of our clothes a bit, so the contrast isn't too harsh. That's why I always recommend that instead of black, you go for navy blue, coffee brown, or purple because they're less intense than black. So keep an eye on that tip and pay close attention to those soft, flowy pieces with gentle transparency because sheer fabrics are set to be one of the biggest trends of 2026. Don't say I didn't warn you, okay? Number 3 is the worker jacket. This jacket is heavily inspired by utilitarian fashion. It features large pockets and often has a straighter cut. I actually bought one. I think it was last week. In my case, it has a slightly A-line cut, extremely comfortable, guys. What a comfy jacket. Super modern. It really has that utilitarian vibe that adds a modern edge to your style. As I've mentioned before, what makes us look younger is modernity. There's no use trying to look super young while only wearing tailoring or very traditional pieces. Traditional doesn't necessarily age you, but it's easier to look older when we wear traditional style clothing than when we wear more casual styles. That's exactly why the worker jacket helps break that pattern. We're not going for a little girl look here. We're not trying to look 15. We're aiming for the look of a woman in her 20s, 25, or 30, a modern woman who moves, who gets things done, who has energy, and the worker jacket fits that vibe perfectly. Utilitarian style brings that urban feel, which goes really well with everything. The jacket I bought came in a slightly greenish blue tone that works beautifully with my soft summer color palette. But if I had to recommend some shades, I'd suggest beige, khaki, or green. You can also invest in petrol blue, which is expected to be big next year. And of course, I can't skip brown and burgundy, two colors that are trending hard. Brown, especially think chocolate brown, cocoa brown, or coffee brown. They're all beautiful, elegant shades that go perfectly with that heiress wardrobe, that rich girl vibe wardrobe I know many of you love. This piece is part of the streetwear trend. So if you're a woman who loves sneakers, jeans, and practical everyday outfits, I highly recommend the worker jacket. I think it's amazing. One tip, go for jackets made of heavy linen, thick structured cotton, or twill. My husband has a twill jacket that honestly feels indestructible. In other words, it's a piece that will last forever. Everyone who sees it thinks it's beautiful. It really has that worker jacket vibe. It was actually inspired by his jacket that I bought mine. Mine is also made of twill. Twill is one of the best materials you can choose. We talk a lot about cotton and linen, but often forget about twill, which, in my opinion, is my absolute favorite fabric. We need to appreciate this fabric more. It's comfortable, it lets your skin breathe, brings thermal comfort, and it's basically indestructible. All wins. So, if you're thinking about jackets for 2026 that make you look younger, go for this one. Go for the worker jacket. Number 4 is wedge-heeled boots and sandals, which come with the same type of heel. These are comfortable and sophisticated wedge heels that are expected to be very popular in the 2026 trends. They're great because not only do they add a more youthful and modern touch, they're also very much in fashion. This type of heel elongates the legs but also brings comfort. It's ideal for those who love heels but can't stand those thin, stiletto-style heels. You know those heels that get stuck in everything? Yeah, you won't have that problem here. Speaking of 2026, you can and should invest in models made from natural materials. So, leather or faux leather boots and sandals with raffia or straw, those are going to be everywhere. You can also go for stunning colors like metallics, wine, caramel, brown, and of course, classic black. After all, black never goes out of style. But if I had to guess, I'd say go for cocoa brown or coffee brown because those are gaining a lot of traction in the trends. You can invest in various materials, as I mentioned, leather, suede, raffia, and even rope details, which pair beautifully with warmer seasons like spring and summer. So if you're looking for a new pair of shoes, I recommend investing in a boot since it's more suited for the colder seasons, more closed up, and also a sandal, which can be open or even just closed in the front. I think these styles bring a lot of modernity and youthfulness. Sometimes we think we need to wear something super uncomfortable to look modern, and I totally disagree. We should always seek a kind of modernity that we actually enjoy, but with comfort. I'm a woman who values comfort a lot, girls. I don't know about you, but tell me in the comments, do you prefer being comfortable or drop dead gorgeous? I like looking good, but I need to feel comfortable. I'll always lean toward comfort more than trying to please other people's eyes. These shoe styles are making a major comeback, so start keeping an eye out, start researching, check out online shops, because you know how it is. When a trend blows up, it gets hard to find. And like I always say, I like to bring you the trends ahead of time so you can start searching now, thrift shopping, finding that designer sandal or boot for a lower price, because once 2026 hits and the trend is everywhere, the prices will go up. So stay alert and don't regret it later. Number 5 is also very youthful. I'm talking about the graphic tee. A graphic shirt usually features creative prints, messages, and artwork. What's most interesting is that since it has a design on the front, you can showcase something that reflects your personality. If you love a particular video game, sport, or TV show, all of that can go on the front of your tee. Honestly, there's nothing more youthful than seeing a friend walk in wearing a shirt and thinking, "Oh, I know that. That's from that series or that thing." That always happens with me and my friends. It's such a fun way to start a new conversation or friendship. So why not include pieces in your wardrobe that display your hobbies and interests? A graphic tee draws attention to the center of your body, showing off personality and shifting focus from areas you may prefer to avoid. For instance, let's say you're not comfortable showing your thighs. You don't need attention-grabbing pants. Just wear a graphic tee and the gaze instantly lands there. One of my favorite modern styles is a tee with a small front print, usually near where a pocket would be, and a larger design on the back. I find this type of shirt much cooler than ones with huge graphics across the front. Often, when there's a large print in front, people freeze trying to read it. Not sure about you, but when I see someone wearing a tee with a phrase, I find myself trying to read it too. When the graphic is on the back, it's easier for others around you to react. There's no awkward stare down. In my opinion, every wardrobe should include one of these tees. It went out of fashion in 2023 and 2024, but came back strong in 2025. So honestly, it's a piece I can say never truly goes out of style. What did change was the plain tee trend with clean minimalist shirts, but graphic tees remain steadfast among those who love casual and street style. Let's be real, people who love graphic tees didn't stop wearing them just because plain shirts were trending. If you want to emanate youthful energy, this is a piece you can't skip. It pairs with all kinds of pant 7 tailoring, and if you think a graphic tee looks strange with tailored pants, don't worry, it works beautifully. It also pairs well with skirts, especially midi skirts, which look elegant. They're fun and interesting under a blazer, and you can match them with many shoe styles. Since this tee is a bit more creative, it opens up options for playful styling, be it head accessories or shoes. I recommend choosing fabrics like high-quality cotton, viscose, or even linen if you can find it, though I know that can be difficult. If possible, go for a graphic tee made from modal. It's the best option. Modal is a high-tech fabric, wrinkles less, breathes better, is incredibly comfortable and soft. The only catch is that most modal tees are plain, so you might have to buy one and have it custom printed. Just make sure to pick a design you truly love, because modal tees aren't cheap. And hey, what's your age? Let me know in the comments. You already know the drill. By using the magic keywords, you help me keep bringing fresh videos every day. Today's keywords are more youthful 2026. I count on you using these simple words, and of course, I'll leave a little heart on your comment. While you do that, we'll keep rolling with the video. Number 6 is cat-eye sunglasses. Honestly, cat-eye glasses are almost timeless. They have a retro feel, reference the 1950s, yet feel modern and relevant today. What's fascinating is how the upward cat-eye frame actually lifts the gaze. You don't need extreme angles or super thin rims, just pick a shape that fits your face. If your eyes naturally droop slightly, these are definitely the glasses for you. I have a slight lift in my outer eyelid, nothing extreme, but it bothers me, and cat-eye frames are the styles that suit me best. As we age, eyelids tend to become a bit looser, which can weigh down the eye area, but cat-eye frames counteract that and visually lift the eyes. eyes. Essentially, it's like a blepharoplasty in sunglasses form. Stylish, elegant, youthful, and fun it old-fashioned or boring. I recommend classic colors like black, red, and burgundy or tortoiseshell for a distinctive finish. You can also go for minimalist metal frames. Choose what flatters you most. Here's a tip. If you want to draw attention to your eyes, pick frames slightly lighter or darker than your skin tone to create contrast. For example, if you have darker skin, try whiter white frames. If you have very fair skin, go for thicker, dark-colored frames like brown, black, or navy blue for a standout effect. Keep in mind, bold frames can be heavier, so they're not perfect for everyone. Some might prefer lightweight metal or nude-toned frames. They look good too. It all comes down to your personal contrast and aesthetic preference. Always try them on optical or app-based try-ons for the best results. Sunglasses are usually not cheap, and you'll likely wear them every day, so take care with lens quality, UV protection, and please don't buy cheap sunglasses online. Plastic lenses can harm your eyes. There are reports of vision damage from counterfeit glasses online. Don't risk it. Sometimes it's worth paying a bit more to ensure quality that's safe for your eyes, because fashion isn't worth it if it risks your health. Take care, be mindful. If you're looking for something that rejuvenates your face, start with cat eye sunglasses, test different frames, and see what flatters you best. Number 7 is plain dresses, especially those made with natural materials. Guys, a plain dress is one without any prints. I know sometimes we like prints, but girls, we need to talk about this. Some prints make you look older, others just don't flatter you, and we don't want that. Here, we want looks that make us look younger and more modern. So, the best thing you can do is invest in a plain dress, especially made of cotton, linen, silk, or satin, which come in a wide variety of shades. When we talk about fabrics with more natural materials, we usually see a lot of fabric in that raw tone. So, it's that cream beige tone, which will be very trendy in 2026, besides, of course, the natural materials themselves, which will also be very popular. These dresses bring lightness, flow, and freshness. They're great for wearing in warmer seasons, like summer, but they also bring comfort in colder seasons. If you live in a tropical region, they'll be perfect for you, and you can pair them with sandals. They can be flat sandals or wedges. Jackets also work very well with these dresses. You can combine with a denim jacket, leather jacket, or even a canvas jacket, as I mentioned earlier. After all of them will work well. This is a dress I personally find very beautiful when it comes with buttons in the front, especially when they are made of natural materials like wooden buttons. I don't like those dresses with gold buttons in front. Those buttons give a very artificial, cheap-looking touch to the dresses. So, if you choose these models, I recommend natural materials. I think this model is very pretty and elegant. It generally elongates the silhouette. You can even choose models with a slightly flared skirt, which will add a touch of romance. Since we're talking about any plain dress here, you can definitely opt for puff sleeves. I know you always ask, can I wear puff sleeves? Princess sleeves are also fine, but you can also choose models with slightly thicker straps. In 2026, the thin strap trend isn't very strong, so if you choose straps, I recommend the thicker ones. Besides being very elegant and beautiful, they also enhance your look and add structure. After all, you can hide your bra strap, which brings, of course, more sophistication and comfort is the most important thing. Besides looking younger and prettier in fashion, we're also looking for comfort. Number 8 is shorter jackets and fitted blazers. These pieces will also give off a more youthful vibe. If you're a more formal woman, I recommend investing in blazers, especially those with a defined waist. How can you do that? You can take a blazer you already have, one that's a bit oversized, and take it to your tailor and ask her to reshape it into a fitted blazer. Another option is to shorten a jacket or blazer you already own, but that's more for a casual look, so it depends a bit on your style. If your style is more classic, go for just the blazer with a defined waist. If your style is a bit more casual, these shorter pieces will fit better in your wardrobe. This kind of piece goes very well with jeans and also works with tailored pants, especially with a fitted blazer. It will shape your silhouette. It's a piece that brings youthfulness. You can invest in more neutral tones like black, white, off-white, burgundy, navy blue, and coffee brown. All these shades, even gray, will match very well. What I find interesting is that these pieces can come in different materials like linen, cotton, canvas. You can choose all of those. Even materials like leather or denim are allowed here. So, all of them are totally fine. Because these pieces highlight the waist, we need to be careful. So, if you're very short, I wouldn't recommend the shorter models. I'd suggest the fitted ones. The same goes if you're a bit fuller figured. Why? If you take someone who's short and full figured and put a crop jacket on her, the cut will be right at the waistline, which will make her look even shorter and fuller. We have to be very careful about this. Both models are very youthful and work well, but we should always remember that very short and fuller women should avoid any cut that breaks the silhouette into many little pieces. So, in this case, what would I recommend? I'd recommend a more fitted blazer with a monochromatic look, or at most tone-on-tone. So, a black blazer with black pants, burgundy blazer with burgundy pants, or at most a tone-on-tone, a light blue blazer with jeans in a slightly darker blue. These little details make all the difference. Sometimes what makes us not look good wearing a piece, or what ages us in a look, isn't the whole look itself. It's the details, the tips, the little things. That's why I always tell you to pay attention here, because there are lots of great tips for you to update your wardrobe. So, today, you've already learned. If you're fuller or short, skip the shorter jackets. If you want a more elongated look and that hourglass silhouette, I recommend fitted blazers in this case. If you're slim or taller, then you can go for shorter jackets. They will rejuvenate you and are also in style for 2026. And if you've gotten this far, it's because you're a woman who loves fashion, beauty, likes to dress well, and always look gorgeous. And you, of course, need to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, how will you get notifications about new videos made just for you? You might end up not receiving them. So, hit the notification bell. That way, YouTube will notify you every day when a new video is released. Made, of course, with all the love just for you. So, subscribed and bell activated? Then let's continue with the video. Number 9 are all the accessories that elevate your look. So, here we have scarves, belts, and maximalist jewelry, because all these pieces will act as focal points that make you look much more interesting, much more creative, and create a much cooler outfit. You can, for example, add scarves to your outfit. You can tie them around your neck, wear them like a belt, or even use them to create a blouse or a top. You can add belts, especially the more creative, bigger, and unique ones. Let's take advantage of the fact that belts are forecasted as big trends for 2026. So, we can already include this element in our looks. And of course, I can't forget to talk about jewelry, especially maximalist jewelry. So, big earrings, big necklaces, big bracelets, bringing a lot of irreverence, youthfulness, and just the right amount of flair. If you are a woman who doesn't like many big elements, no problem. You can also choose more delicate jewelry. They are not very trendy right now. They're not in the spotlight, but they are timeless. So, if you want to wear just a thin gold or silver chain, a small ring, all of that will count. The important thing here is to have interesting elements. Regarding scarves, let's start there. You can choose cotton or even denim. Recently, I saw a girl wearing a scarf made of very thin denim. I found it super interesting. I'm going to copy that idea. However, I don't recommend scarves made of very synthetic or very thick material, because if you use them, for example, on your head or neck, they might make you hot. So, for this reason, I don't really recommend synthetics, but if you have no other option, synthetic scarves are okay too. If you don't mind, there's no problem. About prints, I would suggest you wear prints and colors you like, but try models without too much detail, because that will make the piece more timeless. So, if you wear a very flowery, very colorful scarf, it might be a bit harder to match. So, pick scarves that match items you already have in your wardrobe. One tip is to match your scarf with the color of your bag, your shoes, or both. For example, if you have a brown bag and brown shoes, wearing a brown scarf will bring unity. If you like head accessories, like berets, which is my case, what I do is match the beret with the scarf. That way, I can also create a very interesting look. Regarding belts, we will have an absurd variety of belts in fashion in 2026. You can choose models that have some kind of metal application, like studs or spikes. You can also choose models with some kind of gemstone, leaning towards a bohemian style. So, you can be very creative when it comes to belts. Basically, any belt is allowed, from the simplest to the most creative. Regarding jewelry or costume jewelry, you can opt for bigger models, ones without too many gemstones. For example, you can choose twisted metal, hammered metal, or liquid metal. These more organic models are the ones expected to appear with more strength, but as I said, it's a matter of taste. Chains and and padlocks, for example, will be very trendy, but that doesn't mean you need to wear a huge chain or padlock. You can adapt it to your personal style. I always say here on the channel, and I keep saying, your personal style is the most important, but don't stop enjoying yourself. Don't stop wearing accessories you like just because you've reached a certain age, okay? We always need to remember this detail. It's not because we're at a certain age that we have to stop wearing what we like accessories? Go for it. Wear accessories. Life is meant to be lived, okay, girls? Nothing exudes youthfulness more than that. Number 10 is long hair. I don't know what happened a few years ago that people thought, wow, after 40 years old, you have to cut your hair. Who invented that trend? Seriously, one thing has nothing to do with the other. Short hair can actually make you look older. Some women look better with short hair. In that case, wonderful. When you rock short hair, great. But some women, when they have longer hair, look younger. So it really depends on your head shape, your chin, your ears, the size of your forehead. All these things will influence the length of your hair, the way your haircut will be done. But long hair itself is not a problem. On the contrary, what we see most in 2025, 2024, I've noticed it a lot, and for 2026 are women aged 70, 80, 90 with long, beautiful, well-kept hair, because that's what we need, well-cared for hair. If you're a woman who likes gray hair, you can wear long gray hair. If you don't like gray hair and plan to dye it, no problem either. You will dye your hair a color that flatters you, and that will also make you look younger. What do I recommend? If you're in doubt, always opt for the more traditional. So, if you're unsure, go for brown hair. It can be more like highlighted brown or even blonde. It can be a cooler blonde or a warmer blonde. Warmer blondes usually look nice, but not on everyone. Some people won't be flattered by this tone. Avoid black. I have no problem with black hair, guys. I use black hair a lot, but black needs to be handled carefully because being such a dark and intense tone, besides being practically impossible to remove from your hair later if you regret it, it can really emphasize your lines. So, while it will highlight your eyelashes and eyebrows, it will also emphasize wrinkles and any skin imperfections. So be very careful with this hair color. If you're in doubt, go for a traditional cut. Nothing that requires you to style it a lot. Ask your hairdresser at the time of the cut, will this cut need a blow dry every day? Will I have to do blow drying to make it look good? Because that's not what we want. We want practical hair, hair that's easy to wash and style, hair you don't have to dye or touch up all the time. So we will look for practicality combined with a bit longer hair that brings youthfulness. What often makes a woman look much older is that she can't take care of her hair, so it gets damaged and she ends up cutting it. So be careful. Don't fall for the idea that if you're in your 40s or 50s, you have to cut your hair. No, don't fall for that talk, because I know many hairdressers have scissor syndrome. They can't see hair without wanting to cut it short. So, be careful. The idea that women over 40 need to cut their hair is old-fashioned, outdated. It's out of style. And number 11 is knowing the colors that are in fashion and also knowing what is out of fashion. To find out these items, just click on the videos that are appearing on your screen. Choose one of the two, and I'll be waiting for you there.